Everybody has addictions. There are especially harmful ones like drug addiction and alcoholism, but of course there are a lot which can be useful, like if somebody does sports often. On the other hand, there are addictions that are not necessarily harmful, but really weird and shocking. So I brought a few of these for you today. Hi, my name is Mark from List Hive, and today I brought you 10 unbelievably weird addictions. The star of our first story is Berta, who loves nail polish. I suppose like most women, she has tried lots of different colors before she found her favorites. Something must have gone terribly wrong in all the trying, because dear Berta realized that nail polish could have a better place than on her nails. She rather eats them. Or drinks them, I don't know which is better. The whole thing got to the point where allegedly she gets down 5 little bottles of them daily in different forms. Sometimes she drinks them like they were shots, other times she sips them or she licks them off the little brush in a real gourmet way. Can you guess which one is her favorite color? Blue. Berta says that the blue nail polish is the most delicious one, but there's a chance if we would feed her different colors blindfolded, she'd have no idea which one she would be eating. Her doctors have warned her that it's not exactly the healthiest thing to add 5 bottles of nail polish to her regimen, because it can even cause brain damage or heart problems. However, Berta won't give up even after all of this, and she still drinks her favorite blue nail polish. People sometimes get the urge to snack on something. When a group of friends come together, it's essential that some snacks will get on the table. It can be chips, breadsticks or a party mix by any brand. On the other hand, there are some people for whom this is not enough and they need a more special snack. For example, there's Kesha, whose favorite is toilet paper. Yes, you heard it right, she instead of eating chips rather has some toilet paper. If you think she only does it sneakily at home, I have to disappoint you. She always has a roll in the glove compartment of her car in case she gets hungry, but there's also an emergency toilet paper in her bag at all times. Of course, it's nicely wrapped in a plastic bag so that it wouldn't get dirty. She even snacks on toilet paper in the movies instead of popcorn. There's no news whether she has a preference in her snack. Perhaps she likes the floral pattern more than the peachy ones. I have bad news for you, Kesha. Toilet paper wasn't made for snacking. There is no better feeling than to hop on the couch and chill a bit after a tiring day. It doesn't matter if you turn on the TV, start your favorite game or get a book, the comfort of your couch will charge you up no matter what. Except if something is missing from the pillows. And here is where our next contestant, Adele, comes in. Contrary to her name relative, she doesn't use her mouth for singing, but she is obsessed with couch pillows. It's been 20 years since it occurred to her what would happen if she had opened her couch pillows and tasted what the stuffing sponge is like. Since then, she cannot stop. Okay, I can imagine that somebody bites into it once drunk or because of a lost bet, but to still eat pillows after 20 years? Just think about how many pillows she could have eaten during all these years. I suppose everybody has seen at least in a movie that somebody sniffs up a dose of suspicious looking white dust in their nose. The fact that in the movies it means cocaine, but it means powdered sugar or salt to your dumbest friend is another question. So I will make a twist to the story and introduce you to Jay. Jay sniffs up baby powder. Here is where the first question comes into mind, which occurs to every normal human being. Why? Jay says that the whole thing started when she was young and accidentally scattered a bit of baby powder and sniffed it up. Yeah, right, accidentally. This has happened 20 years ago and the poor girl cannot stop since then. Of course, she doesn't introduce herself to her new friends like, "Hi, I'm Jay and I sniff up baby powder 10 times a day." But after they step into her apartment, it becomes suspicious that everything is covered by a thin layer of white dust. It is better to confess a weird baby powder addiction than to let them think you're a cocaine addict. By the way, according to her calculations, she has sniffed up more than 500 kilograms of baby powder in her lifetime. It's a miracle that she's still alive. Everybody likes to keep their loved ones close, and it is alright. There might be a time in life when physical distance grows between you, for example you get a job somewhere else, but fortunately, thanks to modern technology, at least keeping in touch is easier. However, after a certain point, we must let go of everyone. This is how life works. Some people have a hard time processing this, and it is completely understandable, but Casey's case is really special. Specifically, Casey loved her late husband so much that she carries his ashes around everywhere. Of course, her family is not happy about it, but unfortunately, the story isn't over yet. Because besides hardly ever letting the ashes out of her hand, sometimes she eats it. Yes, you heard it right, the lady is eating her late husband's ashes. She even sticks her finger in the urn to lick the ashes. But fortunately, after the case got some fame, she started going to therapy, so she might just have a way out of the addiction. What is your favorite drink? There are so many choices that it can be a really hard task to just go shopping for a drink. You might want a good old orange juice, but when you see the iced tea on the shelves, you immediately get uncertain. Carrie was 53 when she got into the spotlight in 2012 with her really special choice for a drink. Basically, she drinks her own urine every day. And she doesn't just drink a little, she has 2.5 liters every day. Back then she said that she has been drinking her urine for 4 years. But unfortunately she doesn't just drink it, she even bathes in it. Well, that's not just a little bit disgusting. The truth is that she has cancer and she thinks that this helps her heal. It's true I'm not an expert in this topic, but I think instead of drinking 2.5 liters of her own urine every day, it might not hurt to see a doctor. I think you know what cat ladies are like. In most cases they are presented as crazy people who are antisocial and live together with a lot of cats. They work so they can provide for their cats, to buy them every toy, and they only live for their cat's love. Of course, in most cases the reality is not so simple, but there are some cases where all of this is true word for word. However, somebody can always add to these things. For example, Lisa, who has 22 cats. Okay, the many cats thing is true. Lisa has 3 jobs so she can provide for the cats. However, Lisa does something strange that the others don't. Lisa cannot stop cleaning her cats. Oh, and she doesn't use a regular cat hairbrush. Instead, she uses her tongue like she was one of them. She doesn't even spit out the cat hair she got off with her tongue, she just eats it. Lisa has said in a statement that she has been eating cat hair for 15 years and she has never had a problem with it. I don't know how you're holding up, but I think this is really sick. I don't know if your parents have ever washed with bleach or just cleaned something with this wonderful thing. One thing is certain, that it does a pretty good job at whitening clothes and it is a great choice for killing bacteria as well. On the other hand, I could be chased out of the world with the smell of bleach. Not like Gloria, who loves it and she has thought of a new way of using bleach. Instead of washing her clothes with it, Gloria just cleans the whole house with it every day, and after a job well done, she bathes in it too. That's right, the lady is bathing in bleach. Her addiction has reached a level where she uses over 1,000 liters of bleach every year. I don't know how her skin is holding up, but I don't think that it has such a great effect on it. Just when you would think that vampires only exist in a fantasy world, there's always a crazy person who states the opposite. I mean, it is true that there are people who think that the world is led by shape-shifting lizards. But we have Michelle, for whom we have to give a point to those who believe in vampires. Because Michelle is a blood addict and according to her, drinking blood is just as much a basic need as water. After all, there are people who cannot start their day without coffee and Michelle cannot start hers without blood. This addiction formed when she was a teen, was cutting herself and she tasted her own blood once. In that minute she knew she wanted more. The whole thing got to the point where Michelle has to drink 7 liters of blood weekly to satisfy her addiction. Though she doesn't only drink blood as it is, there is example for that as well. Sometimes she cooks it, but she loves to put a few drops of blood into her favorite alcoholic drink as well. Okay, but where does she get the blood from? Fortunately, it doesn't come from humans. She drinks animal blood, which she buys at the local market from butchers. Fortunately, she doesn't physically hurt herself to get blood, but it doesn't mean that everything is fine because she can easily buy infected blood. So as a responsible adult, Michelle has decided to go see a doctor much more often because she cannot quit her addiction. So for the top of the list, I brought you a less disgusting and more fun addiction. Fortunately, I have never broken any of my bones, but I have seen a lot of friends suffering in a cast after breaking one. It itches, it limits your movements, and I could go on. But at least your bones join back together, which is cool. However, as much as 99% of the world hates it when something needs to be casted, there's one person who loves it when the cast constricts his body. Kevin, even though he is totally healthy, is wearing a cast on his whole body. There are 2 for his arms, 2 for his legs and 1 for his chest, which he wears proudly. It all started when he was a kid, when he covered himself in toilet paper so it would seem like his whole body is in a cast. After that, when he was 12, he managed to break his arm and the cast changed his life forever. You would think that this is when he realized how bad it is when you have the cast on, but no. Kevin loved every minute of it. Nowadays he mainly wears the cast because this way he gets attention on the streets and he thinks it is the perfect way to meet people easily. Because of the cast he can talk to people easily and they can even start to make small talk about how he got injured. It's a shame that it's all fake because of course Kevin is perfectly fine. He wouldn't give up on his cast for any price. Not like his former girlfriend who let him go after he was always wearing his casts. But at least he could use the cast for dating as well. That's it for today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to List Hive.